The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton. Chapter 9. The Land of Dreams. The children had had enough of adventures for some time. Their mother set them to work in the garden and they did their very best for her. Nobody suggested going to the enchanted wood at all. I hope old Moonface and Silky and the Saucepan Man got back to the tree safely, said Joe one day. Moonface was actually wondering the same thing about the children. He and Silky talked about it. We haven't seen the children for ages, he said. Let's slip down the tree, Silky, and maybe make sure they got back all right, shall we? After all, it would be dreadful if they hadn't got back. Oh, just imagine if their mother was worrying about them. So, one afternoon, just after lunch, Silky, Moonface, and the Saucepan Man walked up to the door of the cottage. Beth opened it and shrieked with delight. Oh, Moonface! Oh, so you got back safely after all. Oh, come in. Oh, come in, Silky dear. Saucepan, you'll have to take off a kettle or two if you want to get through the door. Now, the children's parents were out for a while, so the children and their friends sat and talked all about their last adventure. What land's at the top of the tree now? Asked Rick curiously. Oh, don't know, said Moonface. Like to come and see? Oh, no thanks, said Joe at once. No, we're not going up there anymore. Oh, well, maybe just come back and have tea with us, said Moonface. Silky's got some popcakes and, I've made some Google buns. I don't often make them. Oh, I tell you, they're a treat. Google buns, said Beth in astonishment. Whatever are they? Ah, well, you must come and see, said Moonface, grinning. They're better than popcakes, aren't they, Silky? Oh, much, said Silky. Well, Franny and I have finished our job, said Beth. What about you boys? Well, we've got about half an hour's more work to do, but that's all, said Joe. If everyone helps, it'll only take 10 minutes. Oh, we could leave a note for Mother and Father. I would love to try those Google buns. So everyone went into the garden to dig up the carrots and put them into piles. It didn't take more than 10 minutes because, they all worked so hard. They put away their tools, washed their hands, left a note for their parents, and then set off for the enchanted wood. The Saucepan Man sang one of his ridiculous songs on the way. 2 tails for a kitten, 2 clouds for the sky, 2 pigeons for Christmas to make a plum pie. Everyone laughed. Joe, Beth and Franny had heard Saucepan Man's silly songs before, but Rick hadn't. Oh, go on, said Rick. This is the silliest song I ever heard. Well, at that, the Saucepan Man brandished 2 kettles, which he then decided to clash together as he sang. 2 roses for Beth, 2 scoldings for Joe, 2 ribbons for Franny with a ho-diddle-ho. Well, it's an easy song to make up as you go along, said Beth, giggling. Every line, but the last, has to begin with the word 2. Just think of any nonsense you like and, the song simply makes itself. Singing silly songs, they all reached the faraway tree. Saucepan yelled up. Hey, what's his name? Oh, let down a rope. There's a good fellow. Oh, it's too hot to walk up today. The rope came down. They all went up one by one, pulled high by the strong arms of Mr. What's-his-name. Franny was unlucky. Can you guess why she was unlucky? Yes, she got splashed by Dame Washalot's water on the way up. Oh, next time I go up on the rope, I'm going to take an umbrella with me, she said angrily. Oh, come on, said Moonface. Come and eat a Google bun and see what you think. Soon they were all sitting on the broad branches outside Moonface's house, eating popcakes and Google buns. The buns were very strange. They each had a very, very large raisin in the middle. Now, this was filled with sherbet. So when you got to the raisin and bit it, the sherbet frothed out and filled your mouth with fine bubbles that tasted delicious. The children got a real surprise when they bit their raisins, and Moonface almost fell off the branch with laughing. Come and see my new cushions, the ones I've just got, he said. And the children, as they'd eaten so many cakes and buns and really couldn't manage any more, went in with Moonface to his funny round house. Moonface looked around for Rick, but he wasn't there. Where's Rick? He asked. Oh, said Silky, coming up behind. He's gone up the ladder to peep he wanted to peep and see what land is at the top, and I told him not to, but he's quite a naughty boy, I think. Oh, gosh, said Joe, running out of the house. Rick, come back, you silly! Everyone began to shout, Rick! Rick! But no answer came down the ladder. The big white clouds swirled above silently. And nobody could even imagine why Rick didn't come back. Right, I'll go and see what he's doing, said Moonface. So up he went. And he didn't come back either. Then the saucepan man went cautiously up, step by step. He disappeared through the hole, and he didn't come back either. Oh, whatever has happened to them, said Joe in despair. Right, look here, girls. Get a rope out of Moonface's house and tie yourselves and Silky to me. Then I'll go up the ladder, and if anyone tries to pull me into the land, well, they won't be able to, because you three can pull me back, okay? Right, said Beth. And she knotted the rope around her waist and then Franny's and then followed it with round Silky's waist too. Joe tied the other end to himself. Then up the ladder he went. And before the girls knew what had happened, Joe was lifted into the land above, and they were all dragged up too, their feet scrambling somehow up the ladder and through the hole in the cloud. Then there they all stood in a field of red poppies, with a very tall man nearby, holding a sack over his shoulder. Is that the lot? He asked. Good. Well, here's something to make you sleep. He put his hand in his sack and scattered a handful of the finest sand over the surprised group. In a moment they were rubbing their eyes and yawning. Oh, this is the land of dreams, said Moonface sleepily. He yawned a great big yawn. And that's the Sandman. Oh, goodness, how sleepy I am. Don't go to sleep, cried Silky, taking Moonface's arm and shaking him. If we do, we'll wake up and we'll find this land has moved away from the faraway tree. Oh, come back down the hole, Moonface, and don't be so silly. I'm so sleepy, said Moonface, and he lay down among the red poppies. In no time he was snoring loudly, fast asleep. Get him to the hole, cried Silky. But Joe, Rick, and the saucepan man were all yawning and rubbing their eyes, sleepy, and too sleepy to do a thing. Then Beth and Franny slid down quietly into the poppies and fell asleep too. Oh, At last only Silky was left. Not much of the sleepy sand had gone into her eyes, so she was wider awake than the rest. She stared at everyone in dismay. "Oh dear," she said, "I'll never get you down the hole by myself. I'll have to get help. I must go and fetch Mr. What's-his-name at the Angry Pixie, and Dame Washalot too." She ran off to the hole, slipped down the ladder through the clouds and slid onto the broad branch below. "What's his name?" she called. "Dame Washalot! Angry Pixie!" Now back in the land, and after a minute or two, Joe woke up. He rubbed his eyes and sat up. Not far off, he saw something that pleased him. It was an ice cream seller, and the man was ringing his bell loudly. "Hey, Moonface, wake up!" cried Joe. "There's an ice cream man. Have you got any money?" Everyone woke up. Moonface felt in his money bag and then stared in great surprise. It was full of marbles. "Oh, who put marbles in there?" he wondered. The ice cream man drove up. "Oh, marbles will do to pay for my ice cream," he said. So Moonface then paid him 6 marbles. The man gave them each a bag and drove off, ringing his bell. Moonface opened his bag. Now he was expecting to find delicious ice cream there, as you might expect when you've bought something from an ice cream man. But inside, instead, there was a huge whistle. It was really odd. Everyone else had a whistle too. "How extraordinary," said Rick. "This is the kind of thing that happens in dreams." "Well, after all, this is dreamland," said Beth. "I wonder if these whistles blow." She blew hers. It was very loud indeed. The others blew theirs too, and at once 6 policemen appeared nearby, running for all they were worth. They rushed up to the children. "What's the matter?" they cried. "You are blowing police whistles. What has happened? Do you need help?" "No," said Rick with a giggle. "Then you must come to the swimming pool," said the policeman. And to everyone's surprise, they were all led away. "Why the swimming pool?" asked Franny. "Listen, policeman, we haven't got any swimsuits." "Oh, you naughty storyteller," said the policeman nearest to her. And to Beth's surprise, she found that she had a blue and white swimsuit on. And all the others had swimsuits too. They came to the swimming pool, but guess what? There was no water in it at all. "Now, get in and swim," said the policeman. "But there's no water," said Rick. "Don't be so silly." And then, very suddenly, all the policemen began to cry. And then, in no time, the swimming pool was full of their tears. "Oh, this sort of thing makes me feel funny," said Joe. "I don't want to swim in tears. Quick, everyone, push the policeman into the pool." So then, in half a second, all the policemen were kicking feebly in a pool of tears. As the children watched, something happened. They had been swimming in the pool of tears, but imagine the children's surprise when the policemen suddenly changed into blue fishes and swam away, flicking their tails. "Oh, I feel as if I'm in a dream," said Rick. "Yes, so do I," said Joe. "I wish I could get out of it." "Oh, look, there's a plane coming. Perhaps we could get into it and fly away." The plane was small and green, and it landed nearby. There was nobody in it at all. The children ran to it and got in. And can you guess what happened next? Well, who was the child in the last book who learnt to fly a plane? And how did they take off? What did he have to do? That's it. It was Joe. And Joe remembered just what he needed to do. He pushed down the handle marked up. Off we go, he said. And off they went. So that is the end of that chapter. My giddy figs, what a chapter. What a strange land. Now let's think about what happened. Was Rick right to peep into that land? Would you have wanted to peep into the land just to see what was there? Or would you have been able to go straight to Moonface's, have the cake and the buns, and then go home? Do you think he did the right thing? And what do you make of this land of dreams? If you went to the land of dreams, what do you think might happen there? What would you like to happen? Have you ever had a favourite dream that you'd like to live up in the land of dreams? Well, I'm not sure that the children are living their favourite dream at the moment. What do you think is going to happen now they're in the plane? Where do you think they're going to go? And what about Silky? I wonder where Silky is now. Did she find the others? Are they coming too? Will they be able to avoid the sleepy sand and make it to the others? Especially now they're in a plane. Oh, what a pickle everyone's in. Well, let's find out what happens in the next chapter. Bye-bye.